Hi, everybody. I'm just getting set up here, so bear with me. I just moved over to a new software to go live, so I'm waiting for everything to connect and go on. And so today I'm going to be talking to you about fertility health and looking good, adding some comments and some links for you. Anyway, so today is day 1 of 100. Now, why the heck would I do 100 days of live videos? Oh, I don't know if it's working. Hold on one second. Hold on a second. I got to close some stuff out so it's not all wonky. Says I'm live. Okay. I'm going to edit that part out. Sorry if you're on. Anyway, so why would I do 100 days of live? It's because it takes 90 to 100 days for women to improve their egg quality. So I thought, well, that's perfect. Just imagine if any woman watching this who's trying to get pregnant or specifically was told by their doctor that they have to improve their egg quality, it takes 90 to 100 days. So maybe I'm getting all these weird messages saying I'm not connected. So I hope this is working. But maybe if you started to implement just one of these things every day that we talk about, and then by the time we get to the end of our 90, 100 days, and then you've already got a pretty good foundation for your egg health. How does that sound? Okay, so what we're going to talk about today, I'm sorry it's asking me to confirm something here. Wish I could pause. If I hit pause, then it's going to jack everything up for me. Okay, hold on for Instagram. 392. All right, we should be good. If not, then Instagram, I am not going live with you today. I'll figure this out for another day. Okay. Why would I go live for 100 days in a row? It's because it takes about 90 to 100 days to improve egg quality. Okay. So what's really awesome about that is if you take everything that you can, or let's just say if you take one thing from each video that I do for the next 100 days, and I might be popping on for a few minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, that kind of thing, nothing complicated. I am going to just bring it down to the most foundational level and make sure that you still get quality information to help you. Okay, so couple things to let you know how this is going to run. So I hope that this is helpful. First of all, if you see I'll be putting in the comments a link on my private weekly Zoom call, which is great, right? Because we can meet on there and it's free. And it's a weekly Q&A. Like I'll talk about maybe one thing, but mostly it's to answer questions that you may have that maybe you don't want to ask in a public forum, which I completely understand. If you've seen some of my videos, I attract, some not so nice comments all the time, mostly directed at me, but I totally get it. So that's why I created a private live Q&A weekly on a Zoom. So look for that link. And if you can't find it for some reason, then just message me and I'll send it to you. And what I would love for you to do is for sure, of course, like subscribe so you can get notified depending where you're watching. You can ding the little bell on YouTube or whatever. Subscribe so you will see the follow-ups because today's day 1 of 100 days fertility live with me, Dr. Gina Terranoni. And I want you to ask questions. So either put them in the comments or you can DM me, not in Facebook, they don't have a messaging, but if you can get into TikTok or Instagram or wherever, Facebook, wherever you're watching this, feel free to ask questions in there. And then I will post my thoughts and hopefully some helpful tips in there. And then, like I said, subscribe. Okay, so we're getting into day one. So day one, I want to focus on egg quality. That's a lot of where my specialty lies within fertility. So if a woman is trying to get pregnant and they're using IVF, often they think, okay, great, I'm going to use IVF and I'm going to have an egg retrieval and everything's going to be awesome. And then they go, we don't have quality eggs after the egg retrieval. They do some testing and it's like, you got to improve your eggs or we're going to recommend that you use donor eggs for IVF. And I understand because I've been working with women in fertility for over 23 years, I believe, in private practice now. So having said that, I get a lot of women that come to me, they're like, I got to figure this out. I do not want to use donor eggs. And hey, look, if you wind up using donor eggs, that's great too. But if you want to try to avoid using them, I mean, try to do something else first. That's what I'm here for. Okay. And if that's not where you're at and you've got other fertility questions, then drop those in as well. Okay. So egg quality. So day one of 100, we are born with all of our eggs. So let's first talk about what egg quality is. So egg quality refers to the ability of an egg or an oocyte to become fertilized by sperm. Okay, so it also has a lot to do with supporting embryo development and, of course, getting pregnant. Now, this is what determines quality, egg quality. So we're looking at genetic integrity of the egg, its metabolic properties, and the surrounding cellular environment. So the fluids that are around it, and then some of the cells that play critical roles into the health of it. Now, egg quality has a huge impact on fertility and especially around conception and implantation. So high quality eggs are obviously more likely to be successfully fertilized, and they lead to a healthy embryo, which leads to a much higher chance or rate of implantation and then eventually pregnancy. So having said that, now we want to look at, like, there's miscarriage rates, and poor egg quality is a significant factor in increased miscarriage rates, particularly as women get older, so like 30s, mid 30s and older. I'm giving you today is kind of the overview of all of the information that I'm diving into over the next 100 days of lives revolving around fertility, egg quality, and whatever questions you give me, I will direct the content to you. I will tailor it to you and I will answer you on these. And if you want to be completely anonymous, just say that and I'll say, somebody asked me a question about this. All right, so factors affecting egg quality. Well, like I just mentioned, we have to look at age. So, of course, the most well-known factor is advanced maternal age, which is 35 plus. So the quality and quantity of eggs do decrease, particularly after 35. And then we also want to consider lifestyle choices that we make. And this is smoking cigarettes or marijuana, having excessive alcohol consumption. You're going to find both sides of, I don't want to say sides, but sometimes it turns into a little bit of an argument. Whether doctors say alcohol is fine once in a while, meaning like a half a glass or a glass. I'm not recommending it, but like, I'm not your doctor. So you've got to check in with your doctor and see what their preference is. In Chinese medicine, which is my foundational training and where I got my doctorate in, we say that red wine can be helpful, but you have to, I have allergies to sulfites, so red wine's probably not the best thing for if I was drinking it. So check in with your doctor. But red wine is helpful to tonify blood or strengthen blood. I'm not saying drink it all the time, but that's something, if you're going to, that may be a good option. Again, check with your doctor. We also want to look at the quality of diet, the quantity of diet, right? Some women just don't eat enough, so they don't get enough nutrients to their whole system. Everything's connected to the womb. So we got to look at diet, and I will be diving in deep with egg quality and fertility diet foods. And then also looking at high stress levels can negatively affect and impact egg quality. And I'm going to say tying in high stress levels also with quality and quantity of sleep. There's so many things for us to look at here. And I know so when women say, what does that even mean? How am I going to improve my egg quality? Like that seems like such a giant task. It is, but it isn't. There's easy ways to do it. What is that saying? It's easy, but it's not simple, or it's simple, but it's not easy. Don't worry. I'm going to give you at least one thing a day that just start trying to work it in. Okay. And if you don't get it in every day, then that's okay too. Do your best. But I would even recommend grabbing a journal and just putting day one. Like, what's your one thing that you're going to start doing today? What else impacts egg quality? This is something I talk about a ton. Environmental exposures, like certain chemicals, toxins, radiation, that's going to impact egg quality. So how do we get environmental exposures? Well, there's a lot more talk on it now, which I'm kind of relieved about. Um, Again, it's going to go back to like fertility food and oh, good. I'm getting some messages. Give me 1 second because I see them loading, but they're not like in yet. So we're going to be looking at like fertility foods, how to remove toxins from food, not only food, but fertility like food containers that will impact like BPAs and things like that. But also you're going to look at makeup that you're wearing. Like I wear pretty much all organic makeup. And if you see me and go, well, she's not wearing makeup. Well, that's probably because it's organic and it doesn't last very long. Anyway, so like things to think about, but also like cleaning supplies, sprays, perfumes, like people still wearing perfumes, all these things we have to consider. You don't want to feel like you're a prisoner, but you also, if you're really focused on egg quality and improving that, and then improving fertility health, these are serious things that we need to remove from our homes and also workspaces. Okay. Medical conditions absolutely impact egg quality. So I'm talking what I see most often with clients and with my patients is women with polycystic ovarian syndrome, mostly called PCOS, and then also endometriosis that can interfere with egg development and quality. So if any woman has one of those conditions, then absolutely. But I honestly think I'm not currently trying to get pregnant, but when I was thinking about it, what I did was I focused on everything I could do to improve egg quality because I had my son just shy of turning 42 years old. So I was definitely an AMA at 35. And I knew that there was factors I had to focus on to make sure that I would have quality eggs. So I was even able to get pregnant. All right. So we're going to look at like egg quality reserve tests. So there's like AMH levels to look at, AFC, FSH, all of this I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to be able to fit it in today because I'm giving you like the big scope of what we're talking about over the next 100 days. So, and then there's, of course, there's assisted reproductive therapy and egg quality. So as I had mentioned before, a lot of my patients or clients come to me and they're referred from endocrinologists, fertility specialists, IVF clinics, because they don't have the grade levels that they need for their egg quality. So often they'll send them to me so I can help them work on things like fertility diet or supplements or getting toxins out or even like regulating menstrual cycles. That kind of thing is what I do. So the good news is if a woman has to work on egg quality, I always say it's best to get in touch with me maybe 3 to 6 months before your egg retrieval. And sometimes it's not like 6 months, right? Because that's like, oh, I didn't know I was going to do it 6 months ago or something like that. But just get in touch and see what the best time to work with me is. But keep in mind, egg quality takes 90 to 100 days to improve. So that's why I say that. Okay, what else have I got? So we're also going to talk about lifestyle modifications. Again, I already mentioned this a couple times, but looking at a balanced diet. I will talk about intermittent fasting and fertility and what types of foods to eat, when to eat, time restricted, whether or not that's a good idea to do that. For some women, it is absolutely not a good choice. For others, it's a very good choice and it can help with things like PCOS. And then we'll look at regular exercise, whether that's cardio or strength or what women, like, what are you currently doing? And that's why I say get a journal. So the best thing to do is we're not all starting at the same point. So I would say, like, write down so I can figure out where you are today and where we need to go and what helpful things we can add in that are doable and realistic. I'm not going to be like, there's 100 things to add on. I know it's 100 days, but I want you to have the option to kind of pick and choose what we're going to focus on. And then we will talk about weight, like what's a healthy weight? I have patients that come in, they're underweight, they're overweight. Both of those things can interfere with egg quality and fertility health overall. Also, we're going to talk about how to manage stress. For some women, that may mean just having time to themselves or like slowing down for 10 or 15 minutes a day. I'm not going to put you on a strict meditation program. However, if you're open to that, that would be a really good idea. But maybe it's doing deep breath work. I teach that. I teach meditation. So maybe it's 5 minutes in the morning. It's something doable for you so it's consistent. The best thing is to be consistent. Let's see. We also want to look at like avoiding smoking, avoiding being around toxins and exposures like that. Again, excessive alcohol. We already talked about that. And then looking at some medical interventions. And here's the thing, okay? There's a lot of ways to look at fertility. And so sometimes, I'm sorry, I am not seeing, I see there's a message, but I cannot see it. So I am so sorry. What probably I'm going to have to do is after this recording, I'll go back and pull up the comments because sometimes they just say can't show and I can see it spinning. So it could be my connectivity, but I appreciate you asking a question. I just cannot see. It looks like it's from Andrea. Hi, Andrea. Thank you so much. Bear with me. I'm almost done with this video. And then what I'll do is I'll come back in and then I can reach out and I can give you an answer to your question because it is spinning, 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 and it's just not having it right now. So here's the thing. There's many things that we can do to improve fertility health and improve egg quality. Okay. And every woman is different. Every woman's journey is different. Every pregnancy attempt is different. Maybe you already have one child or two children, or maybe you're in a second marriage and you waited a while. Now you're like, how come I can't get pregnant? I already did this. It was so easy. It just took me a few months last time. Now, maybe you've been trying for a year or 2 years. I've got some patients that come to me or clients that come to me after trying to get pregnant for like 6 years, 8 years. Our bodies and our hormones are constantly changing, and it depends on age and these things as well. So we can look at, there's like Western or allopathic medical interventions that can be very helpful. And with that can come different procedures for like PCOS or endometriosis or unexplained infertility, and looking at how those procedures or medications impact the body. They can help you to get pregnant, but sometimes they cause side effects as well. Okay, so let's like put a pin in that. There's also ways to add in specific fertility herbal medicines or supplements that can help with egg quality, but you don't have to take everything. So that's why I try to like help and support people, but it's like, look, you could read about 20 or 25 different herbs. Can you imagine? Or supplements? I can't imagine that because, you know, your stomach can get sensitive. And then if your gut health is not able to receive the nutrients from the vitamins or the supplements, some of those can feel really harsh. And then you have to look at the quality. So I want to help you kind of break it down, all of this. And having said all this, keep in mind, I am not your doctor. Yes, I am a doctor and I work with patients and I work with clients. And we have a very special relationship. I cannot possibly give medical advice to anybody out there. I want you to hopefully get some helpful information that either you reach out to me and maybe we, work in some kind of form of a relationship. But if not, maybe you go, hey, I saw this video of this Dr. Gina and she was talking about inositol and should I be taking that? Like, that's what I want, is to be able to help you, to empower you to go in, no matter who you're seeing, if you're seeing a Western or allopathic doctor, a fertility specialist, like homeopathic, naturopathic, acupuncturist, like whoever is helping you along your journey, hopefully you're integrating, because research shows that that's the best outcome. And I certainly do work with women who are using 100% natural medicine or they're 100% going down IUI or going and using IVF to get pregnant. Ideally, you're going to mix. And I always say, and of course I'm biased, but you do want to start with yourself, with your body, and understand where you are and maybe see what the red flags are, where your deficiencies are, what you can do to get yourself as strong as possible if you're going through IVF. But especially what I was mentioning today is like, let's get you to a point where egg quality is so strong that it's not going to fail. And wouldn't that be amazing to be able to have one IVF transfer, not 2, not 3, not 8, like my first patient? So there are things that we can do. And I am so glad. And just a reminder, I've got my little checklist here. Just a reminder, after this, if it's not showing because I cannot see the comments right now, I'm going to put a link in there. You are welcome to join me in my private free online fertility community where I host a weekly Q&A. Ask me whatever you want, and it's private. It's not like out to the universe. So that's kind of how I am. I'm like, especially with fertility, maybe I want to ask privately. So you're welcome to jump on, and I will talk about special topics once a week with you, or attend when you can. If you can't, then just watch the recording. So I'll drop a link on there on how to request access, because I don't let every single person in, and you're welcome to ask questions here in the comments wherever you're watching. Shout out to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I don't know where else I'm on, where this is on. And then definitely remember to subscribe, because I'm doing this live 100 days in a row. And again, 100 days, it takes 90 to 100 days to improve egg quality. I gave a few ideas, but I'm going to start with something that is simple. And my partner, he just got me this fancy watch, and it reminds me to drink water because I set challenges on it. But I would recommend, well, this is normally who I recommend. You'll benefit egg quality, hydration. Let's focus on hydration on day one. I should have said this earlier, right? But hydration being, again, check with your doctor, because I'm not your doctor. I'm just trying to provide helpful educational information. Drink half your body weight in ounces. So if you're 150 pounds, shoot for 75 ounces. Of course, this depends on every woman's particular, like where you are on your journey with fertility, and if you've got any other conditions. If you're an athlete, I mean, every time I work out, it's telling me, oh, you got to add more water in, that kind of a thing. So consider all of the things, but today is drinking water. And I think the best thing to do, like one of the tricks I do, is as soon as I wake up, I've got a glass of water. Usually I remember on my nightstand, and I try to drink that right away. So like at least 8 ounces or 16 ounces, and then you're already on your way. But throughout the day, so you could either on your phone, on a watch or whatever, just like set a nice little bell, and it's like, oh yeah, I got to go drink some water, and then drink 8 ounces of water. And whew, that was a lot. These probably won't be as long, but oh my gosh, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Drop all your questions, and I will see you on day 2.